Welcome to the Infinity Equation presents the Mandalorian review, Chapter 13, The Jedi. The episode we have all been waiting to see finally came to fruition, and it did not disappoint.
Not one bit. It was awesome.
Yeah. No complaints.
Yeah.
Only wish it was longer. Well, I have just a couple of minor complaints.
Well, of course.
Very minor.
I was fine with everything that he did. So I had no
Hey,
problems with it.
I'm telling you, they pulled no punches on this one.
No, they did not.
Right out the gate. Like, everyone knew Ahsoka was going to be in it. First scene, you see her white lightsabers. And I'm like, oh, they're just jumping into it, man.
This is the mix that we need.
Yeah.
This was good. Yeah. Mandalorian, a little bit Jedi. It was a good balance.
Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of story. We got a lot of new lore in this episode. So
finally got a name.
We did. We did get a name.
You guys keep just jumping ahead. Are we gonna do a recap or just?
Well, this is the tease, Todd. We're just teasing. It's a little bit. It's a little tease.
So Ryan, go ahead. Excuse me for one moment. I'll be right back.
Okay. Just started the show and Dante's already leaving. Okay.
Sorry,
but I'm the one that gets fired. All right. So straight out the gate, there was no tease. There was no Mando showing up on a random planet and looking around. From scene 1, we see the planet Corvus. They show some goings on in the city real quick. You could obviously tell that it was Imperial occupied, maybe. I mean, they weren't stormtroopers, but they were definitely like warlords. And the next thing you know, out come the two white lightsabers, Ahsoka Tano in the white or grayish robes, hood up, lightsabers out, just killing fools. And it was sick, man. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they just went for it right out the gate.
Yeah.
Good.
That was awesome. And I kept thinking, well, number one, they keep calling it a city, but it seems pretty small. It seems like a town. I mean, maybe they were trying to save money and not, spend a lot of money on building it out.
Yeah. Well, they shoot everything on this show in they do some outdoor stuff, but for the most part, it's shot in that wraparound screen. It's like LED. It's they have a name for it. I think it's called the Expanse or
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah. I mean, it seemed small. It seemed like the size of like Mos Eisley from Tatooine. About that,
mean, which is big.
Yeah.
So, I'm like maybe 6 or 8 episodes into season 4 of Clone Wars. So I've seen a lot of Ahsoka now.
Mm-hmm.
And, they did a really good job of showing her, kicking ass in the beginning of the scene. And then as this episode progresses, I'm thinking, because she is such a badass in Clone Wars, and she's still a Padawan. I mean, she is most of the time, like, she can hold her own. She can keep from getting her ass kicked from Grievous. Who is, much bigger and arguably more powerful because she's only using one lightsaber as a Padawan, and he's got 2, and he's, this giant robot. And, she cuts through fucking droids like there's no tomorrow.
And people on Corvus.
Yeah.
She was slicing through them.
So when Mando says, like, I don't know, like, if you can handle it, I'm like, what? Like, she seems like she could easily take these people out without Mando's help.
Yeah. I think that's something that, wouldn't translate well from animation to live action. Animation is a different medium, so
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see. I mean, I don't know. I'll admit there could be some inconsistency there, but I don't think when she first and we're getting a little ahead here, but when she first confronted Mando, I definitely think she was holding back. She was kind of feeling him out, like, who is this guy? She came in strong. If she wanted to kill him, I think she could have killed him easily. But anyway, back to the beginning when she's in the woods taking out these soldiers. It kind of reminded me of, like, she kind of almost seemed like Batman, like fighting from the shadows, popping up, taking someone out, ducking back into the fog, very stealth. It was just really cool. And I mean, being that it's directed by Dave Filoni, who I think this is only his third time directing live action, I think he did a really good job. Ahsoka is like his baby. That's his character. So it makes sense that he would direct the first episode with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So she basically fights her way up to the front gate of the city on Corvus. And the magistrate of the town is called Morgan. Morgan Elsbeth. And she basically said, I'll be back tomorrow. She was going to kill people in the town, right?
Yeah.
Ahsoka is there to get information on something. She's like, I want information on your master. She called him her master. So I'm thinking, oh, that's got to be Moff Gideon, right? She's probably working for Moff Gideon, this Morgan Elsbeth, the magistrate of the city on Corvus. And then her right-hand man, her gun guy, her gunner, her bodyguard, his name was Lang in the show, played by Michael Biehn.
Yep.
Now, I think the last time I've seen him in anything was probably Alien 2, Aliens. I mean, I know he's done stuff probably since then, but I did not recognize him at all.
Yeah, he was in, after that, he was also in Cocoon, which was a James Cameron movie.
Okay. Yeah, good luck finding that movie on Blu-ray or DVD. You can't find it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I have it on DVD.
It's probably worth a lot of money. That is a hard movie to find.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Cocoon. The Abyss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's in The Abyss. Okay.
Yeah, he plays a Navy SEAL who's losing his marbles.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool that, they brought in Michael Biehn. They've been bringing in a lot of actors that I like, but I don't realize I like them until I see them again,
Yeah.
Like last season with Bill Burr, that was really cool. But yeah, she basically gives him an ultimatum. She said she'd be back tomorrow, and she leaves. And then it cuts to Mando, who's coming into Corvus. He's got Baby Yoda with him, and we might stop calling him Baby Yoda because of what happens.
Yeah. But, now, to interrupt you, when I first saw the episode, because I've been watching Clone Wars, I could have sworn maybe it's similar sounding name, but isn't the moon of Mandalore where the Death Watch live? Isn't that called Corvus also?
Concord.
Yeah. Okay.
Concord Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Corvus. It was mentioned before. I think, was it in Knights of the Old Republic?
Corvus? I think so. I think it might have been the first one.
Okay. So anyway, Mando's coming into town, and he walks up to the gate, and they stop him. and they Michael Biehn asks him, "What's your business here, Hunter?" And he says, "I'm just looking for a place to crash for the night, man." And so they let him in, and he goes in the town, and no one will talk to him. He's going up to street vendors, and they run away. He sees a guy in the alley with his two children, and he walks up, and he starts to talk to him, and the guy shoos his kids off and says, "Hey, don't talk to us. Don't talk to us. You're going to get us killed." And so, it was very, it seemed very despotic, very post-apocalyptic in that town. Like it's being run by a warlord.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, real quick. Klaus said Corvus is mentioned in Jedi Fallen too, I believe. Yeah, and that is correct. That is in Fallen. It's in Jedi Fallen.
Okay. I've only played the first planet in that game.
Gosh.
I know. I bought it day one, and that's as far as I got, and I stopped playing. But I like the game. It's not bad.
It's a good game. Should finish it.
I should finish that and Spider-Man. But what did you think about seeing Michael Biehn in this, and just the way it looked?
I loved it. Yeah. Like he played like that the old weary guard. Like he should. Like yo, I seen some stuff. I ain't got time for you. I'm tough. I'm rugged. I ain't got time for your nonsense here.
His armor was very, very similar to Anakin's armor in the Clone Wars. I don't know.
Yeah, I did see that.
Mm-hmm. Action figure expert asked Vision Pants. That's fine. You can call me Vision Pants. He said, "You never saw The Abyss?" I've seen The Abyss, or The Rock. I've seen The Rock, or I've never seen Planet Terror. Was Michael Biehn in The Rock too?
I don't think so. Like an old movie. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't see that.
No, I didn't see that.
I've watched it on, I think, like Amazon or something.
I don't remember him being in it. I remember Kurt Russell's in it.
What, Planet Terror? Because I'm sorry, because you know why? There's two different Planet Terrors. There's one from Grindhouse and there's an older one.
Okay. Yeah, it's Reese from Terminator, correct?
Yep, Reese from Terminator, Michael Biehn for sure. I mean, that's the first thing I think of.
At first I didn't recognize him because he looks pretty rocked.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I guess it's been 30 some odd years since that movie, though. So
yeah, easily.
35.
It was 1984, I believe it came out.
Okay, so 36 years. Dang. But it becomes it's kind of the cookie cutter Mandalorian plot in this episode. Kind of. Yeah. It's like, hey, I need something. Okay, Mandalorian, but first help me with this. Right.
Which just kind of came together real quick.
It came together real quick. So he's walking through the town, and the guards come up to him and say, "Hey, the magistrate wants to talk with you." And they bring him before Morgan Elsbeth, played by Diana Lee Inosanto, who is a martial artist, a stunt woman, and the goddaughter of the legend Bruce Lee.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And she tells him, I got a job for you while you're here. We got this Jedi problem. She's killing my men. And we want you to go bring her in or take her out. And he's like, a Jedi? That's no easy job. And my price is high.
Yeah.
So what'd she do? She brings out this spear. As soon as she brought up the spear, I'm like, oh, I know what that is. Brings it out, hands it to him. He bangs it against his Beskar gauntlet, and it makes a real tingy sound.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Beskar. And she says, pure Beskar. So that's probably more Beskar than he got from when he first got paid for bringing in Baby Yoda.
Really? Because he had enough to make almost like a full armor.
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, because
I guess I was thinking just the pauldron.
Because he got like half. He got. They said half was going to the family, to the clan, and then the other half was his to make into that armor.
That's
to make other things out of. Yeah.
Yeah, because he got the whole container of it, the whole ice cream maker container of Beskar.
One thing that one thing that she says to him is that says the Jedi are the ancient enemies of the Mandalore,
Yeah.
and she doesn't know. I mean, he didn't grow up at Mandalore.
Yeah.
He probably he probably heard that, but I mean, he really only heard that from the armorer.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's not like, he doesn't have like this deep grudge against, number one, that was only the case like in the Old Republic or pre-Old Republic, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that wasn't.
Yeah.
That's very ancient. So
Yeah.
even if he had grown up, on Mandalore as a Mandalorian, he was still he's too young to ever see.
Exactly. And I mean, during the Clone Wars, I were allies with the Mandalorians.
Yeah, with many of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was only, the Duchess was cool with the Jedi, wanted their help.
Oh, she was real cool with Obi-Wan. Yeah, she was down with that. But yeah, so I mean, the ancient, and I say ancient, battle between the Mandalorians and the Jedi, even if he was raised on Mandalore, he only would have read about it. He never would have experienced that.
Yeah.
So if you notice in the conversation they have, he never agrees to hunt for the Jedi.
Nope.
Where is she?
Yeah, he just says, where is she?
Because they already knew. He already like, this is who I'm looking for. I ain't got to ask no more questions around town. All right, just point me in the direction.
Yep. And so that's when the scene cuts. And I think the next scene is him walking through the woods.
Yeah.
With Baby Yoda.
Hey.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet now. Hold on.
He's just still a child. He ain't Baby Yoda. His name was never Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Not Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
You stop calling him that. It's my little mofo for right now until he gets his name.
Little mofo. Okay, I like that. That's a good one. Little mofo. So he sets. He's out in the woods on the planet Corvus, and he sets little Baby Yoda, little mofo, down on a rock, unsupervised yet again, and who pops out of nowhere? 2 lightsabers blazing. Ahsoka Tano, and it was awesome.
Yes, it was. Nice little fight.
Yeah, and she was striking him in the armor with her lightsabers.
That best Beskar was saving his life.
Yeah. At one point, at one point, she had both blades pressed against his gauntlet, and he's just holding her off, right? Mm-hmm. And it's sparking and stuff, and that was pretty cool. I didn't realize Beskar was so, impervious to lightsaber strikes. I'm pretty sure. Really strong, direct strike from a lightsaber can cut through it. It might be, I don't know, might be a little hard. Maybe a stabbing motion would penetrate.
I don't know, because if he's able to block it, I don't see like why a stab motion, unless you see how long it took for them. What was it in episode 1 to cut through that door?
Yeah, and that wasn't even Beskar. But that was a very thick door.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 or 4 doors that closed.
Because they were trying to melt that bad thing.
Yeah.
They were trying to melt that thing out. It's like, it's not going.
There was that one. Yeah. There was this. She jumps over him. So he fires off the flamethrower at her.
Mm-hmm.
And she spin jumps over him, flips over him, and her cloak catches on fire. And she drops it in midair and lands and comes back. And that's when he pulls his blaster and he's like, whoa, stop. Ahsoka Tano. Right? Bo-Katan sent me.
Right. She's like, and the first question was, I hope it's about that little guy right there. Well, what do you think? I'm just carrying kids around in my back pocket for the fun of it?
Yeah. And see, and that's why I think she was playing with him. Because I think she could have killed him at any moment. Right?
It seemed like it. I don't know.
I mean, if you spoilers, Todd,
out fighting him.
Spoilers for season 7, but she has no problem against the Mandalorians, and even she goes toe to toe with Darth Maul and holds her own. She kind of defeats him, but she goes toe to toe with Darth Maul in season 7 of the Clone Wars, and she's fine. You know. So anyway, so she asks him about the little one, and they start talking, and he's asking her, well, help me out here. I don't remember the order in which the conversation goes, but
she communicates with him and finds out where he came from and what his story is, basically.
Yeah, but before that, she asks him. He basically says, "I need someone to train him. He has powers."
Well, no, that was like after they were sitting there meditating, he was like kind of pacing back and forth.
But he mentions that this kid has powers.
Yeah,
and she says it's the Force.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She has a conversation with the kid, and she finds out his name is Grogu, and that that he was trained on Coruscant at the Jedi Temple, and he had several masters. And then what's so funny?
One of the few kids that's giving the kid's lightsaber. That's all. He's like, "What's going on? Oh shoot, yeah. Let me get my bags ready. Where we going?"
Yeah, somebody rescued him.
It's not funny.
Well, the Jedi Temple's probably a big place.
Yeah.
Remember he assassinated all the kids. He got most of them.
Oh yeah, I know.
Master Anakin. Oh,
well, you got that one Jedi Padawan that got out of the temple.
Yeah.
And he's fighting with the clone troopers. I think his name was I don't remember. Oh, I forget. But he was played by Jet Lucas, George Lucas's kid, and like his Jedi name was a play on that, on his real name. But so come to find out, Baby Yoda's name is Grogu, and he was a Padawan at the Jedi Temple during the Clone Wars, and he had several Jedi Masters.
Mm-hmm.
And she even mentions Master Yoda. She says, "I haven't seen one like this since a very wise Master Yoda."
Yo, somebody said, like, why did they forget Yaddle? Like Yaddle wasn't just sitting there chilling.
Okay, we're gonna get to Yaddle because there's some theories there.
No, I'm just saying they were like, "Yo, so you just seen Yoda? That was it? You see Yaddle just chilling there? All right, cool."
Yeah. So someone hit him or rescued him from the temple, and that's a story in and of itself.
Right.
I would like to see that. Hopefully, it's not relegated to a comic book or a novel. It might be, but that would be a cool story to see. Maybe we'll see it in the Bad Batch television show, the animated show that's coming out later this year. That would be cool. But yeah, so my theories from last week, totally wrong. Not a clone of Yoda. But maybe.
Well, wait, hold on. What did I say last week? What did I say?
You said Laser Pants is the greatest, and I know nothing.
I don't lie on this show like that.
You said my name is Dante, and Ryan's better than me.
I don't tell false lies like that.
Okay, you didn't say that.
No, half of what I said came true. I was like, what if he probably got stolen? He got stolen from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that half was kind of right, but the thing we'll get to that part of the second half of I was kind of half right, kind of half wrong on it. But continue on, sir.
Oh, it's all good. So I lost my place.
They were having a chit chat, and he was like, "Yo, he's got powers." She's like, "That's the Force."
That's the Force, and so now he knows. He probably putting 2 and 2 together. Okay, may the Force be with you. That makes sense now, right? Because he was saying that before.
No, he never said it. Somebody said it to him. He just like
he did say it. He said it to those fucking X-wing pilots.
I don't think he said it back to them.
God damn, Dante, get your head fixed.
I don't remember him saying that back to them. Maybe he did.
We just talked about that. Yeah, I said that. Like, he doesn't know shit about the Force, so why is he telling people?
That's right. Yeah,
get the like shit. Make the Force be with you.
I can forget shit. Continue on. Fuck.
So being that Baby Yoda is 50 years old, or Grogu, being that Grogu is 50 years old, that would line him up to be a child of Jedi Master Yaddle and Yoda. Now, Yaddle was killed off after episode 1 in one of the novels. So technically that's not canon, but let's just go with it.
Right.
So maybe Yoda broke the Jedi code, Yaddle broke the Jedi code, and little Grogu was theirs. Instead of fessing up to his sin, Yoda, right, getting busy, having an attachment, he, maybe he just snuck little Grogu into the Jedi Academy and said, hey, look what I found. Another one of me. Strong in the Force, let's train him. Because the Jedi were taking children from their parents to raise them from like infancy to be Jedi.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, even when they got Anakin, he was 9 years old.
And they said he was too old.
Yeah, the Jedi Council was like, he's too old to train. I think Mace Windu's the one that said it.
Yeah.
No, he will not be trained because he was too old to start the training. And then again with Luke was like 20, 23 in Empire Strikes Back, somewhere in there. And even Yoda was like, he is too old to begin the training.
See, that's what kills me. Like, yo, how old do you have to be? What, you gotta be born into it? Like, come on, like, all right, so you just had the baby? Yeah, I feel his midichlorians in it. Why don't you go ahead and hand him over?
Well, and Ahsoka made a very valid point, is that, and that's part of that's one of the main reasons that Anakin turned to the dark side, because he had already formed these attachments. So when they're young, they don't have that strong a bond to another person, an adult or whatever, or a family member. So they don't feel loss as much. They're so focused on the Force that they're not so worried about what's going on with their family.
Right.
And so that's why she was so concerned about training this kid, because she's like, he's going to be more worried about what's happening to you than what's happening to, the big picture, like what's going on in the Force.
Yeah. So she kind of tests his Force power. She kind of mind melds with him, to use a Star Trek term.
Yeah.
They're kind of talking through their emotions through the Force. She gets his name, and then she does this test where she Force floats a rock towards him, and he takes it. And then she says, Grogu, send the rock back. And he won't do it. And so she tells the Mando, she's like, hey, you try. He's like, okay. Hey, kid. And she goes, his name is Grogu. And the Mandalorian,
I'll call whatever the hell I want.
Yeah. Mandalorian's like, Grogu, send me back the rock. And the kid won't do it. Right. Or no, he says, take the rock. Because at this point, the Mandalorian has the rock. He's like, Grogu, take the rock. And the kid's like, I'm not feeling it. But then he pulls out.
First, she said that because he has had to hide his powers for so long, that he's afraid to show his powers to people he doesn't trust. So that's why he won't do it for her, but he will do it for him.
So wait a minute. See, and I have a little bit issue with that. He ain't afraid to use them fucking powers, because he took them damn cookies. When he only use it when he wants something, when it's good for him.
Yeah.
When it works for him.
Or to save his adopted father.
Yes, that's it. He only uses it when it's good for his purpose.
Yeah.
To save his Mandalorian, or to stuff his face.
Yep.
Then he'll use the Force. But Ahsoka was new to him as well. So he's like, I don't know, can I trust this chick?
Yeah.
And so Mandalorian
just had a forced conversation with her, like, really? Like, yo.
Hey, I don't write the story.
I know.
Okay. I'm just trying to get through it. All right. Man. And so he pulls out the little joystick knob.
Yeah.
Because he had it in his belt pouch. Mm-hmm. Because the kid used the Force to steal it while they were in the ship earlier. Forgot to mention that. So he takes that out, and Grogu's like, oh, my joystick knob. Oh, boy. Yeah. And he just takes it real quick.
And that was one of the things that I didn't like in the dialogue is that Mando just says, I've seen him do things that I can't explain. Like, you could be specific. You could say, I've seen him lift a fucking mud horn off the ground.
And choke Cara Dune with the dark side.
Heal.
Yeah, heal people that were wounded. You know, it doesn't take that long to explain that shit.
Well, he can explain it now. He uses the Force, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, she asked him, does he know how to use the Force? Yeah, here's how. You know, he can do more than just move rocks around.
Okay, so Action Figure Expert brings up a good point in the chat. He said having a personal attachment is a little different than wanting to have a child for procreation. That's a very good point. Now, there was a Jedi Master on the council, Ki-Adi-Mundi. He's the one with the long head.
Yep.
And the big handlebar mustache.
Yep.
He, his race, and I forget the name of his alien race, but he was allowed to have many wives because his race was dying out. So the Jedi Council made an exception for him, and he had several wives. Of course, that's not mentioned in the movie, once again. Ki-Adi-Mundi, yeah. Ewan, if you know the name of his species, you can let us know. But anyway, maybe it's the same with Yoda, because in all of Star Wars, we've seen Yoda, Yaddle, and now Grogu. And I guess someone from Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Right, Dante?
Yeah.
And what was that Yoda's name?
I forget. Oh, man, it's been a while since I played that game. I forget what half of those characters' name.
Okay. So we don't know the name of Yoda's species, and they're very rare. They're very, very rare. So maybe this was, again, allowed by the Jedi Council to procreate so they could, not die out as a race.
But
just
still,
a theory. We don't know.
Yeah, I get you. No, I don't, because nobody knows since George would not let anybody touch Yoda in his backstory.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of his mandates when he allowed other authors to write novels and comics. He said, just don't touch Yoda, his species, or his past. He wanted to leave that open. I think because he probably had plans for a Yoda spin-off movie or something. That's my guess. He probably had outlines or notes for something like that. Toying Around said,
Go Handy.
He said Ki-Adi-Mundi is his race is called Conehedians. How do you okay, Ewan got it. Syrian? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think that's how I pronounce it. That's what I would say.
That sounds right. Ewan said maybe he planned a Yoda and Yaddle erotic spinoff.
The wise.
Yeah.
Well, there are some creatures that have asexual reproduction, so maybe their race is one of them.
But you would
Could
think
be.
Yoda would probably tell somebody like, look, about to pop this kid out.
Maybe, but they do have genders, so that wouldn't really make sense because Yaddle is a female and Yoda's a male.
Yeah, still,
Still.
a female.
I mean, the Hutts are asexual. At least they were in the EU. That might have changed with the Clone Wars. George might have gone back on that because Yoda. Jabba the Hutt did have a child. Rada the Hutt, who was in the
AKA
Clone Wars. Stinky, yeah. And, that's originally why people really didn't like Ahsoka. It's because she was kind of quippy. She was very much a teenager, and she had stupid nicknames for everyone in that first season of Clone Wars.
Why the hell did Anakin call her Snips?
Because she was snippy.
Oh, okay.
She talked back to him.
That makes sense.
So now that since we're talking about Clone Wars, and I haven't seen Rebels yet because I'm still halfway into Clone Wars. So when she's a Padawan, when Ahsoka's a Padawan, beads, or coming over the top of her head from her faceplate go over her head.
I believe that's her species version of the Padawan braid.
Okay,
that Obi-Wan had.
That I was thinking. Yeah, like the tail.
Right.
And Obi-Wan had it too.
Yeah.
Okay,
It-
so
I-
when
I
she's
think-
after she becomes a Jedi Knight or Master, then she doesn't have the she stopped wearing them.
Yeah, they would probably remove them because once you went from Padawan to Jedi Knight, it was like a ceremony, and they would use their lightsaber to snip off your side braid.
Uh.
Was that in the Clone Wars, or was that? I feel like I saw that happen, probably in the Clone Wars. They'd snip off like Obi-Wan had that side braid in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And then he didn't have it in Attack of the Clones because he was already a Jedi Knight.
All right, let's continue on.
All right, so where were we? Oh, we're still with Ahsoka and Mando in the forest.
Yeah, he takes the ball from him once he sees the little shiny ball.
And then Ahsoka's like, look, he is powerful, but I can't train him. He's too attached to you. He has these attachments. So she's still very much an old school Jedi. She still holds those core values, even though she renounced the Jedi Order in, spoilers, Todd, season 5 of the Clone Wars. I think she still very much believes in the core tenets of the Order.
I told you they're gonna find a reason for her not to train him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I told you, and here it
is.
is.
Man, look at you! Call you Dante Damas.
Nah, just to move to keep the story going. That's what they were gonna do.
Yeah, Nostra Dante. Yeah. So basically, her and Mando come to an agreement. Like, look, I need someone to train this kid. He needs help. And she's like, well, all right, help me take out this magistrate and all her goons that are terrorizing this city. And so they agree. They're like, hey, a Jedi and a Mandalorian, they won't see that coming.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they sure don't, because they make quick work of them when they get to town.
Hold on. We got to talk about that Kurosawa moment, though. That thing was awesome.
Go ahead.
So when Ahsoka, like, they're standing up there. They're like already at the front door. They're like, all right, here she comes. And she stands there with the shawl on. She's like, I'm about to rip you all to pieces. That one lonely, it's that. And exactly. And that's kind of like, when people dispute, and as I say, it's not spaghetti, it's just like, this is why it's a spaghetti Western. This is why. This is what makes it almost great. It's like / spaghetti Western / samurai moments. You have that one lonely person in the town. Everybody else has shut up their house, boarded up inside. They say, I'm not getting part of this. And then you have the bad guys at one end of the town and a hero on the other end, just making that grand entrance. So, yeah, this is an awesome moment.
Very classic cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, which The Mandalorian pretty much, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's very much an homage to classic cinema, Westerns. Would you say a Kurosawa?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Greg brought up a good point. She said she saw what happened to Anakin, and that's basically what she was referring to, Ahsoka, when she said she couldn't train him. She's like, I've seen what happens to a fully trained Jedi Knight who has attachments.
Yeah.
And, she knew that, Grogu had a lot of fear. He was afraid of losing the Mandalorian because they had become so attached, like a father and son. So, okay, so action figure just let me know where it was. He said, hey, listen, pants. The braid came off in the first Clone Wars series, the Tartakovsky series. That's where I saw it. Thank you for reminding me.
Everybody who's chiming in the chat, yes, I'm like not quite halfway through season 4, so I'm watching them as fast as I can. I only have so much time. So I'm going to watch all of Clone Wars and then Rebels after that. So
yeah. So Ahsoka, they're at the town. Ahsoka jumps up to the top of the town is a walled city, and they have a great big warning bell. It's like a tube at the top of the door, and she jumps up there and she starts taking out these guards, and they start hitting the bell, and it was she's taking them out, and she slices through one, and her lightsaber goes through the bell, and it drops and rolls in the city. And the magistrate and Lang, or Michael Biehn, they probably see that and they're like, "Oh crap!" She walks in and she takes out the Mandalorian pauldron, the one that has the Mudhorn signet on it, and throws it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, okay, he's dead. And someone take it from here.
All right, so there's a nice little nod reference too because they mentioned the HK assassin droids, and if you played
Yes,
excuse me, Knights of the Old Republic, the HK assassin there was an HK assassin droid that you could team up with.
mm-hmm.
So that was a nice little nod to that and to referencing them. So she rolls into town. They're all standing there at the end of one town, at the end of the town, at the end of the gates, and she rolls in, starts slicing them up, jumping on the rooftops, cutting everything down that's in sight. And then the Mandalorian pops up, shoot everything else at the front door, and frees the prisoners.
When those droids, they're almost the same as K2SO, but K2SO is taller.
Yeah.
I'd say they're
HKs.
closer. They're closer to the assassin droids in Clone Wars.
Yeah, they're the HK models.
Yeah. Yep. But they're deadly. They are deadly.
Yeah. Yes, just that was those robots were smart asses when they started talking.
Yeah.
So
probably some of the best action we've seen so far in this series.
Oh yeah, hands down.
The whole series has had great action pieces. This was probably one of my favorites, and I'm probably a little biased because Ahsoka is one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just cool to see lightsabers in this show, and not just the dark saber cutting through a TIE fighter, but lightsabers, just cutting people down. And man, it was so cool.
Then Ahsoka goes has a showdown to find out. She's like, "Who's your master?" She's like, and she starts fighting her with the Beskar staff. They get into it. And then Michael Biehn and the Mandalorian outside having that old Western showdown. He's like, "Look, we don't know who's gonna win. Could be the good, which is you. Could be the bad, which is me." And all you hear is, "Well, sounds like you won."
Yeah, you hear that spear drop hit the ground. That clang. Yeah.
I was like, "Ooh." And he's like, "All right, looks like you won. I'm gonna put this down. And I want to step away." And he tries to go for that back gun. Mando shoots him dead straight in the streets.
Yeah, he's putting his rifle down, and as he gets up, he pulls his sidearm. Mando beats him, blasts him in the chest, dead. Which was a little disappointing. I would have liked to seen them use Michael Biehn a little bit more than just that one episode.
Oh, yeah.
But regardless, it was really cool. And the duel between Ahsoka and the Magistrate.
Yes.
That was awesome. And again, I feel like Ahsoka was toying with her a little bit.
Oh, totally. I mean, she just wasn't using the Force at all.
Yeah, she didn't want to kill her. She wanted information from her.
That's true.
Yeah. Now she did lose one of her lightsabers in the pond. Like the whole setting was very Japanese garden.
Yeah.
You know, it's very like Mr. Miyagi's backyard, right? You got the pond, you got they almost look like bonsai trees, stuff like that, which was really cool. And it fit the theme, you know. The classic Kurosawa films, old westerns, stuff like that.
Real quick, I agree with you, Thor 2012. This was one of the best seasons the best episodes of the both seasons.
Absolutely. This is hands down my favorite episode of the series so far.
Yeah, I'd have to edge it above the Bo-Katan episode just a little because the scenes with the what's it called, like on the docks and stuff, was kind of not as interesting or as exciting.
Yeah, I mean you throw a Jedi in with lightsabers, and it's gonna. That's why it notched out the Bo-Katan episode for me.
It's a little bit more choreographed because you gotta be on point with like hitting.
Yeah,
so this is a little bit more. But then we find out who the master she's searching for.
Yeah, so Ahsoka bests her, and the spear falls like we said, and she whips out the lightsaber up against her neck, and she's like, "Tell me where your master is." And I'm thinking, okay, Moff Gideon once again, and she goes, Where's Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, they're bringing him in. Okay, that's pretty cool. But when she said that, I realized we probably will not see Ahsoka again in this series. And I wouldn't hold your breath to see Grand Admiral Thrawn. I think this was setting up the Ahsoka spinoff. And I think it's going to be her and Sabine tracking down Thrawn and Ezra.
I think we'll probably see him maybe one more time. Maybe I'm thinking maybe one more time for the season ends.
I would love it if we did, but I don't think we will. So they have defeated the enemy in this town on Corvus. They basically free the villagers. They had some of the villagers in like those electric like stocks, right? I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the background there was some of those electric stocks in town. It's like a pole. And the people were surrounded by, basically an electric cage.
Yeah.
A couple of them in the background had skeletons in them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like, and when they were getting electrocuted, you could see like their skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they free them. The town's happy. It's like your typical, conclusion to Star Wars. There's a big celebration.
I thought it was Ewoks. I thought the Ewoks were going to start coming out going,
yeah. Ewoks or the Gungans,
Well, that was the thing is that you didn't. There were no alien races.
It sure wasn't. No, there was alien races. Like some of the guards, like the one person they had, didn't they brought out was like an alien race, wasn't it?
No,
at the top.
They're all people. They're all humans.
I swear there was somebody.
No, the guards were wearing
masks,
so you don't know what they were, but
those masks reminded me of one of the
Return. What was it? Return of the Jedi. The one was like the one that Leia had. Almost looked like.
Oh, the Bausch.
Bausch, yeah. A little bit. I could have swore there was either in a Solo or what was that other?
Yeah.
That other movie that wasn't part of the sequels.
I was thinking. One. Yeah. There was probably something in Rogue One that looked like that on.
One of those planets, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking you could have taken one of those guys and thrown him into Rise of Skywalker. They could have been one of the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like the way the Knights of Ren looked. But then, so he's expecting to let Ahsoka take Grogu to train him because that was the agreement. And Ahsoka's like, look, I can't train him. She's like, but take him to Tython. And I was like, whoa, they're bringing in Tython now.
What's
Tython, it's from the Tales of the Jedi comics. It's a planet which was kind of like the origin of, I won't say the Force, but it's definitely the origin of the Jedi. It's where, sentient beings, I think, first start to manipulate and use the Force. And they start the Jedi Order, which eventually becomes the Jedi Order. So Tython would be where the first Jedi temple is, even though in The Last Jedi, I guess it's where Luke is at. But if we're going by the EU, and they could just be pulling the planet name out of the EU just to use it. But she says, take him there to a top of a mountain. And there's some ancient ruins of a Jedi temple. Place him on top of the Seeing Rock.
Something like that, yeah.
And, from there, he can choose his path. And, a surviving Jedi might feel him in the Force or something. And then come to get him. Or, they might come to Tython and meet up.
Wait.
Yeah. Put him on the rock and, chill. And so Ahsoka goes her way and Mandalorian gets in the ship with Grogu and they take off. And that's the episode. Now, I'll just say right now, 10 out of 10. I have no complaints with this episode. I really don't even have any nitpicks. Like I watched it 4 times this week. It was so good, man.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw out some more theories now about where this is going. I don't think Ahsoka will be back in this season. Probably not in this series. Remember that there is a tracker on the Razor Crest.
Oh yeah.
Moff Gideon had a tracker placed on the Razor Crest when it was being repaired on Navarro.
Right.
Now the Mandalorian is going to be headed towards Tython. So this is just a theory. I have read no spoilers, if there even are any out there. I think that he's going to get to Tython, put him on the Seeing Rock, and then you're going to have Moff Gideon's fleet show up. And there is going to be a battle between Mandalorian and some Dark Troopers. The Dark Troopers that they set up in the last episode.
But then who's going to come help him out and get out of that jam? That's the question.
I think
it'd be Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. Maybe Bo-Katan could show up. I'd love to see her back. I think Moff Gideon wins the fight. I think that Moff Gideon gets away with Grogu. And I think that when he gets away, who else shows up? Not Ahsoka. Luke Skywalker. Because at this point in the timeline, Luke is looking for Force-sensitive beings to train. And so I think we're going to see a DH Luke and Baby Grogu. I almost said Baby Grogu. Grogu is kidnapped by Moff Gideon. Maybe he leaves Mando for dead. Maybe Bo-Katan and her 2 Mandalorians are killed off. Maybe he thinks Mandalorian's dead. Mandalorian's hurt. Razor Crest is destroyed, maybe. Luke shows up.
Yeah. Well,
he says, hey, what's going on? Okay, let's go get this kid.
I can tell you right now, it's going to be Bo-Katan by herself.
In season 2. Hey, like I said, this is a theory.
No, I can tell you right now because one of the actors from the episode already said that's the only episode they filmed.
Okay, so she won't have Sasha Banks and
nope.
Axe Woves.
I don't know about Axe. I know Sasha won't be there.
Okay.
Well, Bo-Katan for sure. You know, she wants Gideon because she wants the fucking Darksaber.
Right.
So.
That's why she could show up.
Yeah.
I think
that Luke's not going to show up. It's going to be some like random, probably either Jedi that we know or some random Jedi user.
I could be totally wrong. If I'm right, dude, I can't wait a year to see what happens in season 3. I'm going to be going crazy. Okay, now Ironhead 577 says Sebastian Stan. Ewan says hopefully Sebastian Stan as Luke. I think it's going to be Mark Hamill if he's in it. I think they'll de-age him like they did Michael Douglas in Ant-Man, like they did Robert Downey Jr. And
I'd rather see Sebastian Stan myself.
Okay, so here's my thing. I would like to see Sebastian Stan because Mark Hamill, even if they de-age his face, he's a little round in the midsection. Not that there's anything wrong with that. All right.
Yes, he's not going to be doing fucking backflips and shit.
No, but I'm telling you, Rosario Dawson was the one that did the backflip over Mando. That's a stunt double.
Yeah, true.
So they can throw stunt doubles in. It's all about the voice and the face. I would, if they put Sebastian Stan in, they could deep fake Mark Hamill's face on him.
Yeah.
With the technology they have, they could do it, and he wouldn't be in it that long. It'd be the last episode.
I have a strong feeling that they're not going. I think with the Mandalorian, they're trying to pull away from that, the whole Skywalker thing. I think they wanted to kind of still be like considered in the story, like in that expanding in that universe, but not wanting to pull in like a Skywalker to come. Hey, here he is to save everything.
Like I said, I could be wrong. I personally think Lucasfilm is in a position where they want to fix what they did wrong with Luke. Give Luke a proper continuation post Return of the Jedi. However, there's another really good theory out there, and it's not mine. I've seen it in a few channels. I think Star Wars Theory posited this theory. It's Mace Windu that shows up.
Oh,
Mace Windu was not killed. Samuel L. Jackson has been campaigning hard to come back. He's like, Jedi fall from great heights all the time and they land on their feet. All that happened was he got his arm cut off by a lightsaber, which cauterizes the wound. It's not like he's bleeding out.
Yeah, true.
And then he's falling out the window.
He's falling out the window of a sky, like a city.
So
that's
what?
like, yeah, last
So
time
what?
Anakin did that, he barely landed on a car.
Yeah, okay. Mace Windu. Dude, they chopped Darth Maul in half and brought him back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he fell down.
made-
He fell down a bottomless pit. I'm saying it's Star Wars.
You know what? Yeah, you know what?
Look what they did to the Emperor.
Yeah, I just thought about that. Yeah, never mind.
They threw the Emperor down a shaft in the Death Star and then blew it up.
Yeah.
And then they brought him back.
Yeah.
And that wasn't done well.
None of that was done. No.
And then, dude, so they completely disintegrated the second Death Star, but then like half of it is still in one piece on a planet in Rise of Skywalker.
I can see. Well,
No, you can't see because we saw it get turned into dust.
It
was reduced
that was the
to
effects
dust.
for it was. No, it wasn't reduced to dust. That was the effects back in the time to make you think it was blown to dust.
They updated
Chunks
the effects.
So there's I'm sure there's when they blew up Alderaan, I'm sure there's parts of planet like the Alderaan floating out there in space.
Actually, there is.
See, okay, all right.
So they took one of the larger asteroids and like put a colony on it and called it. I don't know. It was in one of the new Disney era novels. What is going on in the chat, Ewan? What is wrong with you?
What do you say?
The wives Kiadi Mundi impregnated has force-sensitive sperm in them and gains superpowers from the force, meaning they can save Mando. If we were monetized, we just got demonetized. Ewan's out of control.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. We're done. No. So I don't know. I mean, those are my theories. I was way wrong last week when I was thinking Baby Yoda could be a clone of Yoda.
Oh, Grogu?
I was way off. Grogu. Moko.
I personally hope that there's no Skywalker bullshit involved.
Well, you don't like good things.
No,
I'm
people are tired of Skywalker, honestly.
I'm done.
No, we're not.
I'm done.
Hey, that's okay. Listen. If Luke's story ends in Return of the Jedi, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I ignore the sequels. That's not Star Wars to me. If that's Star Wars to anyone listening, hey, more power to you. Enjoy it. I can't do it.
This would be the better ending. If somebody or Mando drops him off at the Jedi Temple planet, you don't see Luke, you just see the other Jedi trainees, and you see a young Kylo walking up. I can deal with that, and that's the end.
Maybe.
Grogu gets dropped off at daycare, and it's done.
I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying it's a theory.
I didn't say you're wrong. I didn't say your theory is wrong.
Yes, you did.
I'm with Todd on this one. I don't want to see any more Skywalkers.
But what if they do it right?
I don't want to see any Kylo Ren either.
Well, it wouldn't be Kylo Ren. It'd be like a young Kylo Ren. So either you really technically is not. You're like, okay,
he would literally be 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, he wouldn't be like the adult version of him.
Yeah, he would be 5 years old because he was conceived at the Battle of Endor at that celebration.
Yeah,
they had a little bit too much Ewokian liquor.
I bet those Ewoks watched too.
No, they did. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
So that 10 out of 10, great episode.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what's next. And even if my theories are wrong, it'll probably still be good. It's Favreau and Filoni doing it. So
yeah. Thank you, toying around.
Yeah, they haven't fucked up yet, so just keep it going.
Yeah.
Oh
man, Thor, that'd be a great one if Kyle Kestis shows up.
That's another good one. Or, man, they could just bring out what's his face from Dark Forces, because they got Dark Troopers.
Yeah.
What's his name? Kyle Katarn. That'd be cool. Bring him into the official Disney canon.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. we're done. That was your review. So, was episode 14? I don't even know what the chapter 14's name is.
Chapter 13 was this week. Chapter 14. Title's probably not out yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's been dropped as of yet.
But let's just say, okay, so the cast list right now is Pedro Pascal, Gina Carano, Giancarlo Esposito, and Carl Weathers.
Oh, God. The team's back together again. Oh, God. All right. I can't see that. That's a... Well, we'll see what happens next week. We'll just leave it like that.
And we're back this Friday.
Yes, we are back this Friday for a regular show. And it is a Fan Friday of Hasbro. So we'll see what reveals will be dropped this Friday. And we'll be talking about them and all the good stuff that was missed last week. And then RIP to David Prowse, who played Vader. Sad to see him go. But he will be missed, and he did great work. And
some of his great work is widely unknown. He's the one that helped Christopher Reeve gain like 30 to 40 pounds of muscle. He trained Christopher Reeve for the role of Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Ironhead Bobby is coming. You know, I don't know, slacking last Friday. There was no episode last Friday, so there was nothing to slack. There was no episodes. So there's nothing to slack.
Yes, Bobby will be on this Friday.
Yeah.
And hopefully we do pickups because I got a lot of cool stuff in the past 2 weeks.
Oh, the guys who can't aim for nothing.
It's okay. They look cool.
All right, folks. See you Wednesday for gaming. And then we'll see you Friday for the show. Y'all be easy. Take it. I'll see you later.
Bye.